Continuing now with the exploding Shirley Sherrod controversy, Time magazine political correspondent Mark Halperin said this about it.
We don't know all the facts about what the White House did on this, but it's clear to me that the White House's war, particularly against Fox News, against the freak show media culture, but particularly against Fox, they've lost that war, and they are now weak and vulnerable to it in a way that is not just unbecoming, but that is, as you said, panicky.
Here now to analyze the purveyor of DickMorris.com, Mr. Morris. Now, Halperin is full of you-know-what, because the White House made its pronouncement to fire Ms. Sherrod way before, not way before, but hours before Factor came on, Hannity came on, Greta came on. I mean, they didn't know what we were going to do about it. Now, it is true they may have been anticipating.
They could probably guess.
Yeah, but you know what? All right.
Come on, those guys sat in the White House, and they said, oh, my God, Fox has a hold of this story. They're going to beat us over the head, and if we don't get out there and fire her preemptively, we're going to look terrible and we're going to take it on the chin.
Okay, but the reason that Halperin said that was not to diminish the White House, but to try to spur them in a macho way to attack us. That's why he said it. So I'm a little annoyed about it. But you're probably right that they anticipated blowback. And now Vilsack said this afternoon that the White House didn't pressure him to make the decision.
Yeah, right. Sure. They
You think he's lying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course he is.
You do?
Of course.
You think the Secretary of Agriculture told a lie on national television? I'm serious.
Yes. Yes.
And you base that on?
On the fact that you would not make a decision of this magnitude on an issue like this
but she
without
wasn't
at
a
least
big
clearing
shot.
it. No, but you're fired. Well, look at the controversy.
No, but they didn't know. I mean, she's a fairly
2 days.
low-level Department of Agriculture employee. Right. I mean, you think he called Barack Obama over?
No, probably called Rahm. May have technically spoken to his lobbyist. You spoke to Rahm, who may have said, I'm not pressuring you. But come on, the White House knew about it and obviously orchestrated.
But you don't want to back off your statement that Vilsack lied?
That's your statement. Vilsack,
I didn't know it. You said he lied.
I believe that Vilsack coordinated what he did with the White House. Yes.
Okay. Now.
But let me talk about the political implication, if you were about to ask me that.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think there are two things. First, the very basis of the Barack Obama brand is that he is post-racial. That's how we first met him. That's what he has always been about. And I have a column now on DickMorris.com explaining it. He is literally getting in the way of his brand. He's vitiating his own brand. Now, when he does that by suing Arizona of immigration, when he does that by not prosecuting the Panthers, when he does that by firing her and then reinstating her, all of that makes him not post-racial. And secondly, it gives an impression of chaotic weakness, of incompetence, inability.
That's what Halperin's point was.
Yes, and it's a correct one. Because the white conservatives will say he caved into pressure in rehiring her, and blacks will say he caved into pressure in firing her in the first place.
Well, what I'll
say
is that Secretary Vilsack didn't read the entire transcript, just like I did not. Okay, I'll say that, and that Barack Obama basically righted a wrong. She wasn't treated correctly. All right, and so he said, the president said, this isn't fair to this woman, so reinstate her. What's wrong with that?
I think that the perception is not that Secretary Vilsack made an honest mistake like you did. And
well, why not? We both made the same mistake.
Because he's in charge of he's the decision maker.
Yeah, but he's running around like I'm running around. He's in Ohio. Somebody calls him, says this woman said this. He doesn't know who the woman is. I'm going to cut him a little slack. Okay. I'm going to say he did exactly what I did.
You cut him all the slack you want. I won't. I think, number one, he fired her on instructions from the White House because they wanted to stop Fox News from running the story and getting embarrassed, and they felt that if they fired her after Fox ran, they would be seen to be caving into Fox. Number two, I believe that when they reinstated her, he did that under White House pressure because of blowback from the black community. So Obama looks like he caved one way, caved another way, and he looks
so there's no writing of an injustice here?
And he looks just like Bill Clinton used to look like, flipping and flopping up in the air.
Now, let's go forward with the story. Okay, as I said, Shirley Sherrod or Sherrod, whatever, okay, is a well-known far-left individual who his whole career has been in those precincts. And now we see her speaking to the NAACP, raising the political mantle, mentioning the Republican Party. Then she's entitled to her opinion, but federal employees not supposed to do that.
Now Obama has a huge problem. Remember Joycelyn Elders in the Clinton administration? She was the Surgeon General.
Yes, she had to resign
made
because
outrageous
of the
comments about sexual behavior and about drug use and all that.
Right.
And she had to resign. Now they have someone who can't resign, because they fired her and then unfired her. They're stuck with her now.
They're stuck with her.
And they're stuck with every single comment she has ever made and will ever make. And boy, are they in trouble now.
She may not come back, though. I would not be surprised. And we would like to talk to Ms. Sherrod or Sherrod. She may not come back, because there is a lot of things. There are, and we're investigating right now. In her background, there are a lot of things. I mean, she sued her own department before she was hired,
and you said
on behalf of her community organization.
But if she does come
and they
back,
settled it.
They are in serious trouble, because they can't disown her. They have to embrace her. And she said stuff undoubtedly.
Well, wait a minute. You say she's in serious trouble, but the other media is not going to report what we reported
Obama's
tonight.
in serious trouble.
No, but the other media won't report what we reported.
It's like he has Reverend Wright on his staff.
And come on, it's not that nearly at that level.
Well, see what she said. See the stuff that comes out. See what you're going to dig up. See what a lady who sees all this through a racial prism and was in charge of allocating funds in a rural area where racial tensions exist, see what she said. And the point is that they now own her.
They own her.
They can't get rid of her.
Right.
And they're liable for her. So this guy who was above racial politics is now in the tar pit, unable to get it off himself.
Point. Now, should I suspend myself because of the mistake?
No, you shouldn't.
And I'll let you can handle it.
And by the way, don't worry so much about other networks not covering it. What do you care? You're passing them all in radio.
Well, that's true. We will cover it, and we will cover it fairly.
And by the way, this tells everybody in the United States that if you didn't watch Fox News O'Reilly show on Monday night,
you wouldn't know.
You don't know what's going on.
Right. All right, Dick Morris, everybody, check out his website, dickmorris.com.